Have you noticed how many times natives use the word get to replace other words in English? Well, if you haven't, you will start noticing after this lesson. Hi guys, I'm Jordana. I'm your English teacher, and this is a channel for you who wants to improve your English. Maybe you want to move abroad, maybe you already live abroad, maybe you want to grow professionally in an international company. So I am here to help you, and I'm happy to have you guys here. So basically, today we are going to talk about the word get, because for the longest time, I myself am not a native English speaker. I am from Brazil, if you guys don't know it yet. I'm from Brazil, but I've been living in Portugal for the past 3 years and a half. And because Lisbon is such a diverse city and there are a lot of people from many different places living here, I get to have interactions in English quite a lot. I also work for an international company, a Swedish company, and I have coworkers that are based in Malta, some that are based a lot actually that are based in Sweden and many other places. So I get to use English quite a bit, and it's funny the things you notice, especially as an English teacher. I am always amazed when I observe other people speak, and not because I am judging. I never do. Everybody judges everybody, but I try not to do that. It's not something that I like to do. I just always pay attention to it from a curiosity point of view. So for me, it's always interesting to hear other people speak. And the things that I pick up when I hear natives and when I hear people from other nationalities speak is that natives, they use the word get quite a lot. And right now you might be thinking, I get it. I understand. Spoiler, by the way, that get is a word that it's used quite a lot, but there are specific verbs and specific words that the word get replaces. And well, I'm here to talk about those because I didn't know about those for the longest time during my process of learning English. And like it or not, learning those shortcuts and learning those expressions and adapting to the language the way natives talk helps your English a lot. So today we are going to go through 5 different words that get usually replaces. There are many different words. It's not just 5, but for the sake of your time, we're still going to talk more about this in the future. We are going to talk about the 5 that I chose for today. All right, let's start with the first one. So the first word that I picked that can't be replaced by get is the verb become. Become specifically when we talk about changing state, so changing status. So for example, when I say it's becoming cold outside, this is a change of state, right? It's going from warm to cold. And in those instances, we can't replace the word become for get. So I could say, for example, it's getting cold outside. Something else that you can say is that I became tired after the meeting, but you will almost never hear anybody say it like that. What is more usual for you to hear is that I got tired after the meeting. So do you see how you can replace the word for get, and then it becomes more natural the way you speak? Because people wouldn't usually say I became tired after the meeting. They would say I got tired after the meeting. This way you will sound much more natural. Okay, let's move on to the second word that I picked. And the second word is understand. I did give a spoiler a few minutes ago when I said I get it. What I meant exactly was I understand it, and you can't replace the word understand for get. So Instead of asking someone, did you understand it? You can say, did you get it? Or you could also say, I understand that you can't go. You could also say, I get it that you can't go. So that way you will sound more natural. And it's also a little shortcut. Instead of saying understand, maybe you're typing, you don't want to write the word understand, and then you can shorten that by using the word get. Third word is bring or fetch. Fetch is the same as bring. So it's when you pick something up, right? And take it to someone else. So if I say, can you bring me a glass of water? You could say, can you get me a glass of water? You could also say, I'll fetch the documents from my desk, or I'll bring the documents from my desk. You could replace that for, I'll get the documents from my desk. Much easier, right? This is a way that instead of remembering all those different words, you can simply replace them for get. Much easier. Not that I'm trying to tell you that you shouldn't use those other verbs, those other words, but if you can make your life easier, I am always pro making your life easier. Fourth word is arrive. Yes, you heard that right. You can replace the word arrive for get. Bark break. So this is the dog barking on the background because there are other dogs barking around the neighborhood. So you will get this from time to time. I won't include it in every video, but it happens quite a bit. I have notes, by the way. I have to write down notes because I don't have such a great memory and I need bullet points. I need a list of the things I want to talk to you guys about. So if you see me looking down, that's exactly what I'm doing. Right. So fourth word is arrive. So for example, if I say, I will arrive there at 8 p.m. You could also say, I will get there at 8 p.m. You could also say, what time did you arrive at her place? But then instead of saying arrive, you could say, what time did you get at her place? You could also say, what time did you arrive home? But instead of using the word arrive, you could just say, what time did you get home? Or, what time did you arrive at the office? But then instead of saying that, using the word arrive, you would say, what time did you get to the office? Or, we arrived at the office late because of traffic. But then replacing that with get, we would have, we got to the office late because of traffic. You have to remember that if you're using the verb in the past, you also have to change the word get to the past. So get and got. We arrived to the office late because of traffic. We got to the office late because of traffic. And the fifth and last one is have a chance or an opportunity. I'll give you the example. I could say, we had the chance to meet the CEO at the conference, or we had the opportunity to meet the CEO at the conference. But instead of saying had the chance or had the opportunity, you could say, we got to meet the CEO at the conference. Another example is, I never have a chance to travel these days, or I never have the opportunity to travel these days. And instead of saying that, you could say, I never get to travel these days. So these are the 5 words that I picked that can be replaced by get. A disclaimer, these are not the only words that can be replaced by get. If you guys liked this lesson, this video, please tell me in the comments. If you want more, if you want other words that can be replaced by get, tell me also in the comments, because you know I am here to help you guys, and I will come back with other words that can be replaced by get. But in the meantime, tell me if you like this video. Don't forget to drop the like, subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content so you can receive more of my content. And if there's any other topics that you guys struggle with and you would like me to make a video about it, also drop a comment and I promise I will read through all of them and I will write down your ideas. I will write down the things that you want to see more, and I will bring that in another lesson, in another episode. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.